March in Minnesota means it's tournament time, and UPN 9 brings you all the action live. The tradition continues as the girls prepare for battle and take to the courts.
Trying to spin, fade away, got it.
Who will become state champion?
With the shot, gets it with 1 second to play.
And now, the Minnesota State Girls High School Basketball Championships. It's tournament time.
The pregame show is over. Time now for the real show. Prime time coverage of Championship Saturday. This is the 1998 Girls Basketball Tournament coming to you live right here on UPN 9. Welcome back to Williams Arena, everybody. I'm Andy Skoogman. If you missed the pregame show, Blake and Christ Household of Faith won titles this afternoon. That means in our 4-class format, 2 more titles will be decided tonight. So let's get right to our game announcers, Jeff Grayson and Jenna Carter.
Thank you very much, Andy. I guess we're guaranteed in our first 3 title games of having a team from the Twin Cities metro area win. This is an intriguing matchup, Janet, because you really have the ultimate underdog against the ultimate overwhelming favorite. Minneapolis North is one of the more dominant teams we have seen in any tournament, boys or girls, any sport, in quite some time. They sort of remind us of Rochester Mayo, and they're taking on Chaska, but the Hawks got here for a reason.
That's right. Bob Downs has been around the game of basketball for a long time, and if you would have asked him at the beginning of the season, Bob, you're going to be in a championship game against Minneapolis North, he would have been thrilled to take that challenge. One of the players that he'll be relying on tonight is a key player that we're going to like to feature. Her name is Rachel Schmieg. She came to life in the semifinal game. You can see some of her numbers, an all-around player, and she may have a tough assignment in trying to face up against AP Player of the Year, Tamara Moore. Now, Tamara Moore's been talked about a lot, and she is great. But this young lady right here, Mauri Horton, for Minneapolis North, is outstanding at the point guard position. She handles the ball well, distributes it, and I think as a junior has got to be one of the top prospects for college coaches and scouts around the country.
That's the scary thing about Mauri Horton is she has another year of high school ball to play. 2 players who make their teams go. We'll be back with the introductions and the jump ball. The Chaska Hawks against the Minneapolis North Polars from Williams Arena. Welcome back to Williams Arena. Chaska getting set to take on Minneapolis North in the Class 3A Girls Championship. Let's meet the teams. Here's public address announcer Bob Reed.
Good afternoon, or good evening now, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Williams Arena. This is championship basketball in 3A class. We'll start introducing the visiting cheerleaders from Chaska High School. Please greet Heather Ersman, Alyssa Gillette, Becky Mahold, Jessie Melcher, Megan Smith, and Tammy Buckentine. The advisor is Susan Downs, the Chaska High School cheerleaders. And now introducing the home cheerleaders from North High School. Please greet Nakisha Caldwell, Cherie James, Jocelyn Johnson, Joy Little, Simone Lott, Natasha Jones, Anna Michelson, and Aisha Summers. The advisor is Shanda Abdul Kadus, the North High School cheerleaders. And now we'll meet the entire roster, starting first with the reserves. The visiting team, the Section 6 champions, a record now 17-9, the Chaska Hawks. Going numerically in the program, a 5'10" junior forward, number 30, Natalie Chambers. .56" junior guard, number 32, Lynn Mundahl. .58" senior guard, number 33, Melissa Hargis. 5'8" junior forward, number 35, Misty Kloos. 5'9" junior forward, number 42, Kristen Daly. 5'10" junior forward, number 43, Jenny Stadensky. 6'2" junior center, number 45, Courtney Johnson. 6-foot sophomore center, number 50, Abby Smith. 5'10" junior guard, number 52, Heidi McKeel. And a 5'10" sophomore forward, number 54, Cassie Squires. And now introducing the home team this evening, the 5A section champions, a record of 28-0, the Minneapolis North Community Polars. Starting with a 5'8" sophomore guard, number 3, Savannah Martins. 5'6" junior guard, number 11, Abby Reed. 5'10" junior forward, number 32, Demetrius Walker. 5'9" sophomore forward, number 34, Aaron Duffy. A 6'1" junior center, number 40, Marquise Williams. 5'5" sophomore guard, number 42, Edna Zachary. 6'1" sophomore center, number 54, Tisa Thomas. And a 5'11" senior forward and center. Her correct first name is Jenny Dozak. And now let's meet the starting lineup, alternating by team, starting with the guards. At guard for Chaska, 5'7" sophomore, number 12, Lindsay Happ. For North, 5'8" junior, number 15, Mauri Horton. At the other guard for Chaska, 5'10" senior, number 25, Rachel Schmieg. And for North, 5'6" sophomore, number 21, Tierra Medlock. At center for Chaska, 5'10" senior, number 40, Allison Polster. And for North, 6-foot sophomore, number 23, Jill Kalvik. At forward for Chaska, 5'10" sophomore, number 41, Jill Gustafson. For North, 5'11" senior, number 22, Felicia Bell. At the other forward for Chaska, 5'10" junior, number 55, Beth Digler. And for North, 5'11" senior, number 30, Tamara Moore. The assistant Chaska coach is Dan Snaza, and the head Hawks coach, Bob Downs. For North, the assistant coach, John Patterson, and the head coach is Faith Johnson. The officials for this game, Julie May and Mike Bronson. And now introducing one member of each team, representing the visitors from Chaska, number 25, Rachel Schmieg, and representing the home team from North, number 34, Erin Duffy.
Good evening. Welcome to the Minnesota State High School Girls Basketball Tournament. We appreciate your support at this championship game and hope you enjoy it.
The State Girls Basketball Tournament is being played under the rules of our schools and the Minnesota State High School League. These rules expect fair play and good sportsmanship from players and coaches. As athletes, we ask that you help us take home the sportsmanship banner by showing respect for our opponents and the calls of the officials.
Thank you, Rachel Schmieg and Erin Duffy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stand as the members of the Triton High School Concert Choir Men's Ensemble, directed by Craig Anderson, and the cheerleaders from the Minnesota Residential Academy in Faribault. The Triton group will sing. The cheerleaders from Faribault will sign our national anthem. The cheerleaders' advisor is Janine Cashman.
See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Nice job on the national anthem. We've had some good anthems throughout this tournament, and we are set for the third game of Championship Saturday, the 3A Championship. Janet, any final thoughts before the tip?
Well, as a spectator and as someone who just enjoys these championship games, I guess as a broadcaster, you always hope that it's going to be a ball game. The fear when you have a 28-0 team is that things can get out of hand in a hurry. The margin of victory for Minneapolis North is fairly large, I think on average about 50 points. Yep. So I just hope for everyone it'd be nice if it can be interesting and Chaska can be competitive right from the beginning.
There are the starting lineups. Gustafson, Degler, Poster, Happett, Schmieg, Moore, Bell, Kalvik, Horton, and Medlock for Minneapolis North. Earlier in the tournament, I said what the closest margin of victory was for North this season as 12. It was actually 11. North defeated Maple Grove in the season opener 58-47. So it was an 11-point game.
Chaska, by all means, belongs here and deserves to be here. They just have to believe from the beginning that they have a chance every right to this game.
The Polars are the home team. They're in blue, trimmed in white and red. Chaska will be the road team. Bell for three. What a way to start for Felicia Bell. Chaska in white, trimmed in purple and gold. Here's the pressure. Yes, when we talk about North, we are not disrespecting Chaska. Really, we're just showing great respect for Minneapolis North. They have taken the baton from the boys team, and actually the boys team is still alive in their playoffs, going for a four-peat. But the boys team, led by Khaled El-Amin and Jabbar Washington, Ozzie Lockhart, they had kind of an aura about them, winning 3 in a row under different formats. In fact, they won it under, I think, 3 different formats. And now the girls team trying to win a state title, and they have that same air about them. Here's Mauri Horton on the turnover there. Polars get it back. Tip ball, Schmieg got a piece of it.
Moore over to Calvick for the open jumper.
Jill Calvick got the steal on the other end, and there she hits the open jumper from the corner.
Lindsay Happ brings it up. She's into trouble there. And double dribble. It was double teamed by Medlock and Horton. So the Hawks still looking for their first shot. Well, I agree. I hope it's a good game, a close game. But the Polars have been known to run away with more than their share this season. Moore, nice move. Not enough off the glass. Moore makes the steal. Gets it to Horton. Last touch by Degler. It'll stay North ball, but after the rebound, North made another steal. 5-0. Bell hit the 3. Calvick hit the 2. That was the first miss for the Polars. Moore open. That's a 3. No. All blue. Rebound Calvick. Out to Horton. That's a 3. 8-0 North. Lindsay Happ over to Schmieg. Hawks break the press well. There's Polster. And a physical North team. Jill Gustafson gets Chaska on the board.
Chaska needed that basket badly here. 6-minute mark. 8-2.
You know, North initiates a lot of contact. I guess you just got to go back. You got to meet them with it, right? They like to push a little hand checking. I think sometimes it throws teams off.
It does, but a lot of times you can draw fouls against teams that are that aggressive if you take it at them. A lot of times they're not in position to get a charge. And if there's a lot of contact, even if it's initiated by the offensive player, a lot of times the foul is called on a defender.
First foul of the game is on Degler. First foul on her, of course. Calvick, offensive rebound. Too much. Bell fighting for the rebound. Schmieg's in there from the far side. Horton on the push. She and Schmieg were going after the loose ball. It is 8-2 Minneapolis North.
Mauri Horton, 5'8" point guard. Really a strong player. Here's some half-court pressure initiated by Felicia Bell.
Here's Lindsay Happ, swings it over. Allison Polster, those passes can be killers with North's defense. Loose ball on the floor. Quick hands, Gustafson short. And it'll be a push after the shot against Chaska. So another foul against the Hawks. Oh, getting a couple good shots, the Hawks are.
Well, I think Bob Downs talked about how much they worked against the press as far as press breaking. Once you break it, once you get up, then you have to think about attacking a basket.
2 quick fouls on Degler. Moore over to Horton for another 3. Short. Tip ball there to Medlock. Look at all the shots the Polars get. The third time. Here's a 4th shot. Jill Calvick has 4. And it's 10-2. They just got to throw teams out of whack here with this pressure. There's a foul.
Well, that's 2 fouls against Mauri Horton. We talked about foul trouble. She needs to settle down here a little bit. She doesn't want to pick up another one in the first quarter.
It is 2 on Horton, but the Polars with a 10-2 lead early.
We are back. First quarter action in the AAA class championship game. Minneapolis North off to a fast start. Mauri Horton hitting the 3-pointer to help give her team a 10-2 lead here early. Things have been pretty quiet on the offensive end for Chaska. This is their only basket, and that is Gustafson with a nice jumper.
You see the rebounding advantage, and 3 of them were on that last sequence when Calvick got the 4th try. One of the rare times we get to see the Hawks in the half-court set. Moore with the block. Did she read that one well?
And Gustafson thought she was doing well to give that shot fake and get the first North player up in the air, and thought she had a green light to shoot, but Tamara Moore showed her it wasn't green, it was red.
Calvick making the interception. Here's Medlock off the outlet pass. I thought she stopped and resumed her dribble. Calvick almost over the back. Rebound. It comes out to Happ here.
There's Degler with 2 fouls. Those passes are going to be contested almost every time. This time the Hawks lose it. A quick note here for you. Well, you may know that Christ Household of Faith and Blake won 1A and 2A respectively. The third place winners in 1A, McGregor over Red Rock Central, 61-56 in overtime. And in 2A, St. Cloud Cathedral, 56-51 over Glencoe Silver Lake. The 3A third place winner, Mankato East over New Prague. As Moore scores again. Mankato East over New Prague, 58-45. Well, Janet, it's a 10-point game now.
And that last play, Jeff, just shows you how things are going North's way right now. That pass was not even intended for Tamara Moore. It was intended for Jill Kalvik. The ball went right through her hands, and it landed in Moore's hands. As you can see right here, here's Mauri Horton taking it into the lane and dumping it off. Moore up nice and strong.
Now, when it's going right, it's going right. A 10-point game. Here's Lindsay Happ. Tied up. Somebody's open. That's the trick. Where is the open player with the swarming defense? Bell takes it away. It's a 10-point lead right now. Horton. Well, Chaska takes one from North this time.
That last possession, I liked what I saw with Chaska. They got the ball to the high post area. They've got to stay out of the corners because, as you can see, the trap is being set right there, and then you're in trouble. If you can get the ball to the free throw line, that player can then look to shoot or pass to someone else.
Happ missing. Degler, nice rebound. Got to hit those against this team. Kalvik hit the deck, and it'll be a foul on Gustafson. That's her first. Still 12-2. So just to recap for a moment, the third place winners, McGregor, St. Cloud Cathedral, and Mankato East. The 1A champion is Choff, and the 2A champion, Blake. Abby Reed, number 11 in blue in the game, a blocking foul. Gustafson may have a bruised Tamara. I'm sorry, that's on Polster.
Well, I'd like to see that replay. There was a big collision there, but I don't know about this call. Let's take a look here. Tamara Moore. Well, I don't think she was quite set. That was a close one, though. Right idea. She just needs to get herself set and a little bit more ahead of Tamara Moore before the contact occurs. You can't be moving in with the body, or the call's not going to go your way.
Moore for three. 15-2. She's got 5. The state's player of the year. Gustafson gets it up. Horton touched it, but it goes to Polster, and another pass. The cross-court passes North is going to get 9 out of 10. Here comes Horton. Moore wants a 3. She feels it. Got the roll. Bob Downs wants a timeout. It's 18-2. Chaska's worst fears coming true here in the first quarter.
Welcome back. First quarter action. 2:29 to play. Here you can see great ball movement by Minneapolis North around the horn. Tamara Moore doesn't take a lot of shots from the outside, but she's shown already, and she's hit 2 from that range, that she can hit out as well as drive inside. North 4 for 6 from 3-point range, 67%.
Just a frantic style here caused by the Polar defense. The energy, the hands active all the time. Gustafson open. She's got a smaller player on her. Degler. I'm sorry, that's Schmieg. It looked like 55. I was cut off there. It is Rachel Schmieg with her first 2. And it's 18-4.
Chaska coming out with some half-court pressure here, too. They just got to be careful whenever you start putting the pressure on. You don't give up layups and high-percentage shots.
Bell missing the 3. It's the first miss in a while for the Polars, who are up 14. Under 2 minutes left in the first quarter of our 3A championship game.
They got Polster at the free throw line.
Happ open. Rebound to Degler. Second shot. Schmieg got it. We got an injured player. It looks like Degler is shaken up. Dislocated finger. Dislocated finger. They're going to have to pop it into place. Ouch. right, Degler will come out.
I'm telling you, those finger injuries can be really painful.
Got a substitution quickly here, Janet. Melissa Hargis, 33 in white. There she is. She's on the floor. She replaces Degler. The basket counted by Schmieg. Here's the play. Keep an eye on 55.
There's Happ's miss, just short out to the other side. It must have occurred on the rebound. You can see she's in terrible pain right after receiving that blow to the hand with the ball. It must have just hit it.
Well, let's hope we see her back here. Degler with a nice rebound there. Medlock in. Abby Reed takes a seat on the bench. Well,
this tournament has been relatively injury-free.
Here it comes, one right at us, Janet. Errant pass. It'll go back to North. It's a 12-point game, which, as I said in the Mankato East semifinal, is actually close by North standards. The closest game they've had is 11. Moore comes out of there with it. Horton is open.
Here's Schmieg out on the point on that press. It kind of concerns me that she's out there because she's expending so much energy. There's the foul on Polster. But Schmieg at number 25 is working so hard on the press that I don't know if she's going to have any energy on the other end where they need the points too.
Right, it's a good point. Polster gets the foul, 2 on Polster. Kalvik off the inbound. Moore with the rebound. No. She's looks like she's going over the back, but her jumping ability puts her way over everybody. She doesn't get the fouls called. 18-6.
You know, you can go over the back. You just can't push or have any contact with the player. There's Moore with a tip and a steal and a layup.
Well, she can jump so high that, yeah, she doesn't make the foul. Hargis saves it. Another iffy pass. Kalvik scramble there. Moore comes out of there with it. It's a 14-point game. Coming up on 20 seconds left in the quarter. Horton inside. We usually see her outside where she brings it back out. Crossover dribble, creates space. Tough shot along the baseline. Another scramble for the ball. Medlock.
She walked.
Yeah, this time they got her for the travel. 6.5 seconds left. It's been all North. Schmieg up to Gustafson. Time's running out. Medlock, can she beat the buzzer? Lots of contact, no whistle. Medlock is slow getting up. Looks like she's going to be okay. We'll see. We'll get an update on her in case she doesn't start the second quarter. All North in the first 8 minutes. Back at Williams Arena with Janet Carvenin. I am Jeff Grayson. It is 26. Minneapolis North to start the second. Schmieg missing the 3. Rebound Horton. Outlet intended for Moore. Nice play by Rachel Schmieg. Schmieg finds the open player Hargis. Good ball movement to Happ for 3. In and out. They need those to fall to make a game of it.
Chaska shooting 3 for 11 thus far. Minneapolis North shooting 8 for 22. There you can see the turnover difference, and those turnovers have resulted in 9 Minneapolis North points.
Horton swings it over. Crisp passes. It's like they're in a drill in a camp. The two-hand overhead. Moore gets it for 2. 12 for Tamara Moore, 10 in the first quarter. Almost a steal by Medlock. The press continues. It is relentless. Bob Downs has already got the tie off. Talking with the referees about the physical play. Moore in the lane. No. Rebound to Bell. Well, it's obvious North is the more physical team. They initiate the contact, but they're active.
They definitely have an edge on rebounds, about 13 to 10 right now, but a lot of those rebounds have been on the offensive end, and anytime you can convert those offensive rebounds into points, really makes a difference. They've shot 22 times to Chaska's 10 at this point. Chaska just needs to be able to get more shots to the basket.
Ball last touched by Melissa Hargis. Horton comes out. She's replaced by Savannah Martins, who has the ball. Where's number 3? You're right, offensive rebounding. That's been probably the story here. It's been routine to get 4 shots for the Polars. Look at that.
I think they've done that play before. Nice job by Moore at the free throw line, pass the corner, touch the basket. A simple give and go.
And now one dribble.
Nope.
No dribbling. That's a coach's dream
that
right there.
Pretty.
Timeout on the floor. Bob Downs says we'll make it a 20. It's a 20-second timeout. 26-6. Well, Janet, this team is one of the more dominant teams. It's just something we can kind of imagine, but I would have loved to have seen this team against Mayo. With the Miller twins, both teams love to play relentless pressing ball. Kind of the fantasy matchup.
Well, you know, this team is obviously top-notch regardless of being 3A, or even if they would be in 4A. Many people think they would do just as well. Here you can see this last North basket. Give to the corner, go to the basket.
Well,
you learned that in 3rd grade basketball, but people forget to do it. It works well.
Yeah, you're right. It's the basics, and not one dribble on that entire play. Everyone touched it. No basket, more walk. Well, the Polars defeated Elk River, who's in 4A, 74-26. They beat Hastings by 19. They beat Cretin by 33, and Cretin's playing for the 4A championship. So you're right, they can play with 4A teams. We've got to worry about Chaska. There's Gustafson long, but it goes to half. Her shot long. Moore with a rebound. Chaska got here with an impressive win over New Prague, 59-56 on Thursday afternoon. 3-pointer, Medlock, no. Thursday night, I'm sorry.
You're talking about being at the top of your competition. The Minneapolis North boys opted to play up to Class 4A and still won that division. Kind of wonder about this team if they couldn't have done the same thing.
Yes, I agree. I think they could play 4A easily. Timeout on the floor. It's North by 20.
KMSP Television has purchased the broadcast rights to the 1998 Minnesota State High School basketball tournament. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and account of this copyrighted telecast is permitted without the written authority of KMSP Television and the Minnesota State High School League.
Jenny Studinsky, number 43, in white, in there for Chaska. Had the ball, passed it. Hargis, that ball was blocked by Kalvik. Medlock hits the deck. And there's a foul call. It's on, it'll be on Gustafson, I believe. Second foul on Jill Gustafson. Well, you mentioned the North boys moving up to 4A, and you're right, they're one of the teams, the 8 teams left in Class 4A. The girls are in 3A. Moore drives and scores. Tamara Moore with 16.
Tamara Moore going to the University of Wisconsin next year in a basketball scholarship. She turned down offers from many, many schools across the country.
In fact, when Pat Summit from Tennessee was in town, we had her on UPN 9. There's Hap missing the 3. Rebound, Medlock, tie up. Takes it away hard there from Studinsky. Pat Summit was not allowed, of course, to talk about Moore because of regulations. What a pass from Moore to Kalvik. Tamara Moore doing it all. Rebounds, scoring, and now an assist.
And you can see that this is really a team. Everybody is doing their job. What I like, too, seeing on this end is that the guards, whether it's Horton, she's in the game right now, but Medlock pulled down the last rebound. And these are guards that are not that tall, getting in there and pulling down the boards with the big people.
Talking about Pat Summit, the most dominant coach, if you look at championships, since John Wooden. And she was here recruiting. And you're right, Tamara Moore going to Wisconsin. I think maybe she thinks she'll get a chance to play a little bit more because the Volunteers have the Meeks, Schmieg Holtzclaw, Tamika Catchings, and there's one more that I am forgetting. But that might be one reason, and she probably felt a little more comfortable closer to home. Horton, it's tipped off of Moore back to Horton.
Well, at many of the top Division I programs, there are very few freshmen that walk in and play very much at all. And I think that's one reason why the Miller twins chose Georgia. They saw that there was an opportunity there. And again, not to take anything away from them because they deserve it. But if you've got an all-senior lineup or an upper-class lineup, it can be tough even if you're one of the best in the country to crack that.
On the boys' side, I think that's one reason Khalid El-Amin went to UConn, because the coach there, Jim Calhoun, could put him in right away as a point guard. And at the U, he probably would have had to play behind Eric Harris, although I think Clem would have liked that problem of having to split time. But you're right, I think that's one reason the Millers did head south to the SEC and play at Georgia. Here's Tamara Moore, hits the front end. She's got 17. Well, let's talk. We were talking about North. Let's give Chaska their due too. What a year they're having. Is that they're in this championship game. They're 17-9. They lost to Jefferson, a 4A school. They're both playing the Lake, but what a run they've had to get to this game when no one really thought they could. Medlock with a hard foul as Schmieg goes down. Ciara Medlock's first foul. Just 6 points here in this game. We've played about 13 minutes of basketball.
Talk about what a physical team this is. Medlock going after the ball and getting some body as well.
We heard from Wendy Kohler, the Alexandria coach, earlier in this tournament. Bell almost with a steal. And the game that we did last year, the 3A championship, not only was it a close game, but it was the most physical girls basketball game I've seen. And you really need to match the physical play that North has, don't you?
That's right, but it's not easy to do. Oh, she got the roll. Gustafson with another one from the free throw line.
She's got 4 of the 8 points for the Hawks. Horton swings it. Moore wide open for 3. Short. Look at the hustle for the ball. Now in the game for the Polars, Demetrius Walker, number 32. We'll talk more. It's 32-8, Minneapolis North. We're back at Williams Arena. The roll, the shooter's touch here.
Well, that free throw line area, the high post area, is a really effective place to get the ball. Middle of the court, this is a Gustafson shot that finally, after seemingly minutes, falls into the basket.
Beth Degler is back in the game. She had dislocated fingers. She's got her 4th and 5th fingers taped together. Chaska shooting 4 for 17, 24%. Minneapolis North, 41%. Shot goes long. Schmieg tried to get a hand on it. Moore gets the ball. Gives it to Savannah Martin.
52, Heidi McKeel with the shot that went off long. Couldn't be controlled.
20-second timeout. 20-second timeout called by Minneapolis North after we just came out of a timeout, but there was a tie-up on the baseline, so instead of losing possession, North called a 20. Our 4A game, 2 more schools from the metro area. Bloomington Jefferson against Cretin-Durham Hall. Bloomington Jefferson was a repeat in 93 and 94. That's our game after this one.
Well, these Chaska players, as you take a look at Degler with her hand taped on her right hand, I'm glad she's doing okay. This Chaska team's been real successful in volleyball. They won the state championship in '96. They were third in '97. So many of these gals, including the one with the ball right there, Rachel Schmieg, enjoyed success in more than one sport. Rejection by Moore.
Second shot by Happ. Yeah, what a play by Moore on the defense. Schmieg was coming in hard for the drive, and Moore just rejected the shot. It'll be Lindsay Happ at the line as Chaska tries to get into double figures. The foul is on Tamara Moore. It's her first. It's been 12-2 North in this quarter, now 12-3.
Lindsay Happ at the line, a sophomore, also active in volleyball and track. She really likes to be involved with youth programs and likes to ref too, which is great. A lot more women officiating these days.
I would think that would make for a fundamentally sound player. 1 point for Happ. Bell will take a three. Short, loose ball. Who gets it? Horton. Foul in the lane. And it looks like it'll be Horton to the line. The 1-and-1. Foul is on Happ. We were just talking about that's the first foul on Happ. Mauri Horton at the line. Well, Chaska has just 2 seniors in the lineup. They're starting 5. They return 3 players next year. North will return this one, Mauri Horton.
Mauri Horton, the B honor roll at Minneapolis North, and there are 6 A honor roll students for Minneapolis North. Great point average for this team. I think that's really a credit to Faith Johnson. She's really asked her players to strive for excellence, not only in the basketball court, but in the classroom, more importantly.
Alicia Bell got caught there on the reach. That's her second foul. Substitution, Jill Kalvik replaces Alicia Bell. Good article in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune today by Jim Suhan on Faith Johnson about how she came to be the North coach. Gustafson, she has been the consistent hot shooter for the Hawks, and it's 32-11. Good article in the Star-Tribune by Jim Suhan on Faith Johnson. She was an assistant at Blake on the '94 team under Ray Finley that won the state championship. And this is her, got 3 seasons here. Schmieg driving Moore to the block. Schmieg came down awkwardly. The second foul on Moore. Schmieg appears to be okay.
Schmieg with the ball in the open court. Change of direction.
Substitution for the Polars, Tisa Thomas, number 54. She's in. Medlock replaces Demetris Walker. In for Chaska, Heidi McKeel, number 52, back in the game.
Rachel Schmieg giving her all out here. You know, she's a leading scorer in the Lake Conference with 17.5 points a game. She'll be going to North Dakota State University on a volleyball scholarship. She wants to major in early childhood and elementary education. She said she loves to work with kids.
Polster in for Degler.
Speaking of loving to work with kids, Bob Downs said this group of young people on this team is just the nicest, neatest group of girls. He just said they've had the most fun this season.
Ball rimmed off. You really get that impression from talking with this team. They're fun. They're loose before the games. I know it's not going the way they want right now, but I think when they look back, they'll see how special this year was. It's 32-12. Nice play there by Polster, and she knocked it off of Kalvik. So the ball will go back to Chaska. Well, they can get it under 20 here in the final minute. Schmieg with Horton on her. That's McKeel. All the way down over to Gustafson. Happ out of space. Kalvik with the steal. Scramble for the ball. Possession arrow. It goes to North. 41 seconds exactly left in the first half.
You got to be so careful against a team like North getting into any corner situation because it's like having 2 more defenders when you dribble into a corner. if you have nowhere to go, if you're not sure about where you want to go, you want to stay out of the corners unless you're going to make up your mind and drive the baseline, be assertive about it.
Kohler's trying to go 29-0. Mayo went undefeated last year. Rochester Mayo, the 4A champion. Kalvik all alone posting up. Somehow it comes back to Moore, who was almost too open. Schmieg with Moore right on her. Kind of ran into her own teammate there. Here's Schmieg. Half. That's a 3. Short. Nice job by Horton of keeping it alive. Tisa Thomas ahead of the pack on the break. We'll see if she gets it. Can't beat the buzzer. Well, as we expected, all North in the first half. They're up 32-12, holding Chaska to 6 points in each of the first 2 quarters. Andy Skugman is standing by with Bob Downs.
Thanks, Jeff. Coach, you knew they were tough. Did you know they were this tough?
They're playing awfully well. We wanted to give them the 3 and be able to block out inside, and that got us in a hole right away. And it's a tough one to dig out of.
Tell me how you begin to dig out of this hole.
We have to take better care of the ball on our end and always get a good shot. We can't throw it away, and we can't force a shot. We have to be a little more patient. 20 points, it's frustrating, but it's not over. We've come back.
Coach, good luck.
Thanks a lot, Andy.
All right, 32-12, Chaska down to Minneapolis North after 2 quarters. The Northland Ford halftime report coming your way live from Williams Arena in just a moment.
Minneapolis North in another dominating performance, leading by 20 after 2 quarters of basketball with Janet Carvenin, Jeff Grayson back at Williams Arena. I guess not really surprised. Chaska's having a hard time against a great team.
Well, it's a combination of problems. They're getting beat on the boards. They're not taking very good care of the basketball, and they haven't gotten as many shots at the basket consequently. North has hit some big 3-pointers early, which really extended their lead. This was a bright spot in the first half. Getting the ball to Gustafson at the free throw line. She hits it. Just one of the 5 field goals that Chaska scored in the first half.
North came back. They can do it inside and outside, including good passing.
They move the ball, and I really like that. And they really seem to have a team focus. But let's just get the ball to whoever is open. Everybody seems to do whatever it takes, and it's really fun to see.
You look at the stats, rebounds, 26-16 North, and Chaska with 7 more turnovers. And look at the points off of turnovers.
Yes, and if you look at that bottom line also, those scoring runs, those are pretty impressive when you look at 14 unanswered points. For Chaska, it's got to have been pretty demoralizing. But, you know, if you're Mankato East, I talked to Amy Hain the other night after the game, and when she realized her team outscored North in the second half, they got down just like this in the first half. But in the second half, they got tough. And they actually outscored and outplayed Minneapolis North. And for her, there was some consolation in that. She felt that, you know, we can do it, we could do it. And I think for Bob Downs and Chaska, they're not going to give up. They're going to come out here and see what they can do in the second half.
You're right. He has to look at it the way that Amy Hain did and see if they can salvage something. Those 3 scoring runs, 10-0, 8-0, and 14-0, that's 32. That's all of North's points. So all of North's points came in shutout scoring runs.
Well, we've made several comparisons to the boys team, and I don't know if it's always fair to do that, but here's another one in that, if you remember the North team with Khaled El Amin, do you remember how fast they put the points up on the board? I mean, you turn away for a couple of minutes, and all of a sudden, they're 10 more points up. And that's the case with the girls team. They can score points in a hurry.
They have one incredible player. El Amin, there's an air ball right there. El Amin got a lot of the attention, but then they also had Jabbar Washington and Andrew Lemmy, Carrick Taylor, Ozzie Lockhart. Jabbar Washington was a great player too. And just like this North team, Tamara Moore gets a lot of attention, sort of like El Amin does, but then you've still got Felicia Bell, who's going to play college basketball, and you've got Tiara Medlock. Jill Kalvik is an underclassman. And then, of course, Mauri Horton, kind of the floor leader of all this. Medlock, nice drive, scores.
Oh, that was really pretty.
It's 34-12. No Minneapolis school, city school, has won a girls championship. So this would be a first for Minneapolis North and for the city of Minneapolis.
That's a 22-year history here in the state tournament.
Gustafson hits again.
Jill Gustafson only averages about 6 points a game. Sophomores really shot well tonight.
She's already over that with 8. 8 of her team's 14. Felicia Bell likes those long-range shots, can't hit it. Medlock fouls Schmieg.
Oh, Schmieg's gone down hard a lot tonight.
That's 2 fouls on Medlock. You made a good point in the first half about how much energy Schmieg and the other players have to expend just to play defense. How much is left in the tank when you have to play offense?
Well, and to be honest, they really haven't been able to get many turnovers on their pressure.
There was one there. Bell off the steal. And Schmieg fouled her, and I think Schmieg might have gotten one in the mouth there. Yeah, Rachel Schmieg trying to kind of clear out the cobwebs there. Felicia Bell goes to the line. She has 5 points.
You know, there's some places in your mouth, your nose, your throat, you get hit. It's not fun.
Bell misses the first free throw. She headed to Toledo next year.
Actually, University of Akron. This young lady and I go way back. She's been coming to my camps for a long time. She's one of 4 Bell sisters. Shaquita graduated last year, was on the team, is now a manager at Drake for the women's basketball team, which has done real well. She's got 2 little sisters over there in the audience that are cheering her on tonight as well.
This time it's Schmieg who draws the foul. It's on Horton. It's Mauri Horton's 3rd foul. Well, I had the right state. For some reason, I don't know why I thought Toledo. I was thinking of Jamie Farr's hometown. When he was on MASH, a lot of people just believed that was his characters. That's actually his hometown because he has the Jamie Farr the LPGA tournament. Just a little bit of trivia for you there. The LPGA tournament takes place, the Jamie Farr Classic in Toledo. Here's Schmieg keeping it alive. Tough miss there. Horton came out of there now. Horton diving, gets the ball. She's got Moore all alone ahead of the pack. How did she come down with that ball? Nice pass. Horton and Moore. The 2-person game.
Wow. Moore did a great job, as you said, just to be able to get the ball and keep it in play.
Even if they wouldn't have scored, I thought that was a great play by Tamara Moore. Now she makes the steal. Nice bounce pass to Bell, and it's just a clinic right now. Bob Downs going to call a timeout. Since the half started, it's been 7-2 North. Unfortunately for Chaska, it's 39-14 on the scoreboard. And it's been a dominating performance on the Menard scoreboard. The Menard scoreboard, all Minneapolis North. It's a 25-point game with Janet Carbonen, Jeff Grayson back to Williams Arena. Andy Skudman is also here. Gustafson cross court and over everybody. That was intended for Schmieg. Here's a key factor in this game, the turnovers by Minneapolis North compared to Chaska. Moore all the way off the nice pass. Tamara Moore with 20 of her team's 39. Argis. Now Gustafson gets it, and here the Hawks clear the press. Gustafson just looking for somebody. It sometimes seems like the Polars have 8 players on the floor. They're so relentless. It'll stay with Chaska. We talked about the girls team a little bit. As you see, Faith Johnson, we compared the girls' success with the boys. The boys are still alive in the playoffs. They're going to be in the quarterfinals Tuesday night. Polster missing on the shot. Rebound comes back out. Nice hustle by Degler, keeping it alive. They swing it over. Wide open, Gustafson. She's hot. She's got 10 of her team's 16 points. Jill Gustafson.
Chaska having some success. Once they can get the ball moving and prevent those traps from being set, they can find the open player. If you're double teamed, you got to get rid of it because there is somebody open. There is Mauri Horton answering with another long bomb.
Wow, is that a pretty shooting touch there? Spotted up and released, and it's a 3-ball for Horton, who has 8. She hit the first basket of the game, which was a 3-pointer, and North has never looked back.
Bob Downs talked about wanting to get good shots and not forcing anything, and it's really true that you can't be in too big of a hurry when you're behind.
Degler missed on the offensive rebound. Medlock hard to the basket. She's fouled hard by Melissa Hargis.
They're down by quite a bit, but at the same time, your chance to even play even from that point on goes down once you start taking bad shots.
The Polars have owned the rebounding battle tonight. Horton bounce pass into Moore, who fights hard for the basket. Bell rebounds. Well, there's always somebody down low on the glass. 10 for Felicia Bell. Hargis loses it. It'll be North ball. The pressure, even with a 30-point lead, 46-16. And it'll be a Jenny Dowzak coming in for North at the next play. Medlock hits the shot. Medlock with 4. Still pressing. It's 48-16. This surprises me a little bit. It's a 32-point lead.
And they wouldn't really need to keep the full court press on it. I think even if they wanted to run something half court, it would look a lot better.
Schmieg for 3. Rachel Schmieg with 8. 48-19. Jenny Dowzak getting set to come in for the Polars. There's Bell going all the way. Rebound, Jill Kalvik. Kind of a nice insurance policy inside when the Polars do miss. Kalvik with 10 off the loose ball, and Schmieg is down again. You'll know why she's sore after this game. She's getting a lot of floor burns tonight.
Yep, she's wiping up all her sweat so nobody slips on it. See what a thoughtful person she is. But she has really left a lot of herself on this floor already tonight.
And she still gets the foul after all that contact. Kalvik comes out. That's who Dowzak replaces.
Kalvik really contributes a lot to this team. She is strong on the inside. She's more of a role player. But she's on the A honor roll. She wants to become a journalism major. Make a lot of money, she says. As we see Horton hit again.
I got news for her. No. Horton just hit another 3. Yeah, if they play those drums after every North basket, I don't know if I'll be able to hear myself by the time this one's over. It's 53-19. And Faye Thomas is clearing the bench already. Tisa Thomas coming in for Felicia Bell.
A different defense here too, Jim. Dropping back into 1-3-1 zone.
Now they're up by 34, and there's about 10 minutes of basketball left. Schmieg. She'll take a 3. Medlock with a nice block. Horton, loose ball. Look at Horton, just a whirling dervish. It'll go back to Chaska. Minneapolis North on its way to making some history tonight on the Menards scoreboard. Minneapolis North leading 53-19. Tisa Thomas, number 54, is in the game. Rachel Schmieg, you mentioned her excellence in volleyball as well as basketball. Going to be a member of the Bison at NDSU And there's something I wanted to ask you about NDSU is Gustafson, one of her rare misses. Schmieg fighting for the rebound. Good hustle. Possession arrow to go to North. There was an article in Sports Illustrated recently about the coach of North Dakota State, Amy Ruley, and it was about kind of how she is one of the best coaches in basketball, men's or women's, and a lot of people in the Midwest may not even know about her because she's at NDSU, but she's got quite a juggernaut up there with the Bison.
She has, and she's really built it with many Minnesota players as well. You know, even players that maybe could have gone to the U or different places that maybe weren't even recruited by the U at the time decided to go to NDSU because of their reputation of excellence and the success that they've had over the years. Casey Morlock is a young lady from Stewartville, Minnesota, who's become an All-American for them as well as many others. And she seems to be content and happy living in the Fargo-Moorhead area. I know she's had other opportunities and offers at Division I levels, but she seems to like it where she is at.
I know that schools in the Big Ten came calling when there was an opening.
She actually played herself, I believe, at Purdue. And there was an opening at Purdue at one point. There were some rumors then, too. You know how people like to talk. But she has stayed put. And
she had a chance to move on. In fact, much like the way the Gopher men's hockey program recruits kids from Minnesota, really, she keeps that NDSU program. You mentioned Minnesota, the Dakotas, Iowa. She likes people who know the environment in the Midwest and she makes sure that her players are in the community. So Rachel Schmieg will be playing volleyball, but she'll be part of that NDSU community.
She has to make sure that the people know that how cold those Minnesota winds can be up there. North Dakota winds.
Jill Gustafson quietly putting together a nice game. 12 points, 12 of her team's 21. Line violation against the Polars. Well, Felicia Bell coming back in, replacing Tisa Thomas. Thomas comes out. All the starters are in for North. I have to say, I'm a little surprised. I know that it's not over till it's over, but it's a 32-point game at the end of the third. Heidi McKeel off the rebound. As we count down the final 16 seconds of the third quarter. Bell wide open. Right off the bench. Instant offense.
Well, I would think once we get into the fourth quarter, Jeff, you'll see more of the North bench on the court.
They look like they're getting anxious to play here. Here comes one. Janet Carvenin with the rebound right here. Your eyes lit up on that loose ball coming right there. Gustafson, Hepp fakes out a couple players. Rims out. Minneapolis North closing in. The Polars ready for their first state title. They lead by 32 after 3 on the Jeep Eagle scoreboard. Leading 55-23. They're up 32. Minneapolis North's average margin of victory about 50 points this season. They've won some games by as many, well, won by 100. They've won a lot of games by about 60 points. Rebound off the Gustafson miss. It goes to Medlock. Here's Horton pushing the ball. What a moment this will be for Faith Johnson and the Minneapolis North community, too. Took over the program after coming from Blake. Horton for 3, missed everything. Bell on the line. She came over from Blake after working under Ray Finley and has established quite a program, although she in our pregame show gave all the credit to the players, saying, I'm coaching a lot of talented players, but she obviously put a foundation down and got some discipline into the program.
Well, she's a really classy person. I played against her in high school. She played for Marshall U and also went on and played at the University of Wisconsin. And she and I played on an all-star team together our senior year in high school. This young lady will go to her alma mater, Tamara Moore, scoring again.
Got 24.
But, you know, talking about both of these coaches, they're both really top-notch people and have the big picture in mind. They obviously love basketball and want to pursue excellence, but I know personally that they're both Christian people who want to instill the right kind of values in young people, and I think that's a real credit to both Bob Downs and Faith Johnson.
Moore gets the rebound. You know, Chaska is losing by a lot, but I think when after it's over and after the dust settles from this loss, like you were talking about earlier, how much fun Bob Downs has had coaching the Chaska girls. And, you know, the Chaska fans in between the break here, they were on their feet. I know that they're happy to have the Chaska girls in this championship game.
You know, it doesn't happen very often that a team like this North team comes along. Sometimes it's just bad timing on your opponent's parts when you have to run up against one of the best teams in the history of girls basketball, in my opinion.
I've only been here 5 years, but I think this is the most dominating team I've seen, and that includes Rochester Mayo, although who's to say? Back with more on the U.S. Bank scoreboard.
It's about time and finding faster ways to take new ideas from drawing board to reality. It's about the search for methods to make machinery last longer or make a long drive seem shorter. It's about making time to look beyond the obvious. And most of all, about taking time to listen. All things change through time. Cars, trucks, and a company.
Fourth quarter action here at Williams Arena. Welcome to the Class 3A state championship game. It is, unfortunately, for Chaska, a blowout. Minneapolis North well on their way to the Class 3A state championship, the first Minneapolis school to do so.
Some substitutions now. You mentioned in the fourth quarter we would see some changes, and we have 42 in blue is Edna Zachary. She's in the game for North. Tamara Moore has 22 points, and I know that it'll be sort of a bittersweet occasion when she won't be wearing the blue of the Minneapolis North Polars anymore. The state's player of the year, outside jumper missing by Heidi McKeel. Remember going through your high school career, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're playing on a different level. And Yerke played at college. What do you think will be going through her mind as she gets ready to her final few minutes of high school?
Well, it's a strange feeling for any of these seniors. You know, you just can't believe it in some ways that when you take off your uniform, it's going to be the last time that you do so.
Well, I'm sorry for Minnesota fans that Tamara Moore won't be wearing maroon and gold, but if she has to go to a Big Ten school.
I know, you're from Wisconsin.
I mean, it'd be nice. I wish she were staying at Wisconsin. I'm sorry, in Minnesota. It'd be fun to see her play next door. You wouldn't have to go far. You just have to go about 100 to 200 feet away to the sports pavilion.
You can see her when the Gophers play the Badgers.
Yep, she'll be up here twice. Up here once a year, twice overall. Felicia Bell at the line. Felicia Bell has 14 points. Between Bell and Moore, they've outscored Chaska 36-23.
Felicia Bell is also outstanding at track and cross country.
Moore pushing. Up to Edna Zachary, who walks the line there. You can tell the North fans would like the reserve to get on the board. Edna Zachary just couldn't quite handle that. Kind of a grin on Faith Johnson's face there. I always look when a coach is in this situation where the outcome is decided, when the coaches start showing their exuberance, when they can finally start acknowledging that it is a championship year. Rachel Schmieg won't give up. She's got 11. It's her last game in high school basketball as well.
She and Allison Poster, then Melissa Hargis, the main three seniors playing in their last game for Chaska. But I think coaches are real careful about when they start to show that emotion because they're concerned about the girls and what kind of message that sends. That doesn't mean that you can quit. Doesn't mean you should celebrate early. You want to keep playing hard till the end.
That's a good point. Mauri Horton just came out.
Abby Reed also coming in for Mauri Horton, 11th grader.
She's got the ball. She's got the ball. The 11th grader wears number 11. I think one by one you're seeing Faith pull the starters. Nice move by Moore. Can't get it to finish. Two teammates actually fought for the ball. Moore and Kalvik. Possession error. It'll stay with Moore. We'll be back with more, including Tamara Moore, in a moment.
Abby Reed, number 11, and the Minneapolis North Polars are on their way to the championship. Abby Reed, number 11. One interesting thing she mentioned in her questionnaire, people in sports she admires. You can see the offensive rebounds there, and nice pass by Bell. Abby Reed mentioned that she admires Mindy Hansen. Of all people in sports, now she didn't probably know when she filled this questionnaire out that she was going to be playing against Mindy Hansen's stepdad, Bob Downs, the head coach from Chaska, but she said, I admire Mindy Hansen for not getting into trouble. Some of the Gopher women broke a team rule and were suspended from playing in the last Big Ten Conference tournament game. Mindy Hansen was not one of those. She did not break the rule, but I thought it was really interesting, kind of a coincidence that she would be playing. Mindy Hansen's here watching her right now, as a matter of fact.
That was Jenny Studinsky on the Chaska basket. And it shows, too, that the high school players pay attention to what people at the next level do. I mean, there are examples to be set and not set. Horton back in, replacing Edna Zachary. Here's Abby Reed, who you were just talking about, leading the break. She's got Moore. She'll take it and rims off. Moore with a rebound. 24 for Tamara Moore. Less than 4 minutes to go in the 3A title game. Look at Tamara Moore. You're playing as if it were 2-2 right now. Just as intense as the jump ball.
Most many people may remember Minneapolis North lost in the championship game to Alexandria last year. Tamara Moore had 17 points in the first 9 minutes and then did not score after that. Alexandria went on and won the championship. These girls, Alicia Bell mentioned that they watched that tape just the other day as a team. She said, we're not going to let that happen again.
Schmieg had a nice move on the Chaska end. Now more substitutions. Jenny Dozak in, number 55 for Abby Reed. Also in, Savannah Martin. She replaces Jill Kalvik. There is Melissa Hargis replacing Jill Gustafson, who has 12 points. 12 for Gustafson, 13 for Rachel Schmieg, who has the ball. That's the thing. Sometimes when you have an unbeaten team who's number one and everybody's after them, there might be some pressure to try to repeat or something like that. But North still has that hunger because they aren't repeating. They lost in the championship game, so they still have something to shoot for. So they're a team that's at the top, but they still have an edge to them. Moore is fouled there. Lindsay Happ, I think, on the play. Moore will go to the line.
This young lady is going to represent Minnesota after these tournaments are over. She's going on to the Nike All-American game. WBCA, Women's Basketball Coaches Association, the College Association, Nike All-American game, top 20. So we will have some great representation there.
Two from the line. And Tamara Moore is coming out of the game. This is it for her.
Call her T.
That's a nice moment. Schmieg. Give credit to Rachel Schmieg for showing a lot of heart here. She's got 15. Tamara Moore, I assume she is through for the night. 26 points. Felicia Bell, long on that shot. New in the game is Marquise Williams, number 40. And she's got the ball. She loses it. It'll be Chaska basketball. Kristen Daly in for Chaska. Erin Duffy replaces Felicia Bell. Another nice moment. Felicia Bell with 14 points. Turnaround by Polster, no good. Here's Haft. Rainbow, can't hit it. Horton with authority. Up to Savannah Martin. Classy, you mentioned the class shown by these coaches. Nice touch by Faith Johnson, letting her stars have their moment. Horton for three, and Faith Johnson wants a timeout. 66-32. Horton with 14. I think Faith is probably going to empty the bench now. She's motioning for a TO. Hargis. Over to Daly, who missed his shot. Faith Johnson calls a 20-second timeout.
Demetrius Walker is going to come into the game, also number 32.
That's it for Mauri Horton, who leaves with 14 points. Although she has another year of high school to go.
There you can see USA Today. Minneapolis North, 14th national ranking in their top 25 poll for women's basketball. The only Minnesota team, regardless of class, to have that distinction. Here is Coach Bob Downs, longtime coach at Chaska. 20 years there, over 300 wins.
Bob Downs is emptying his bench too, and while we were talking about the north side, there's a nice scene on the Chaska side. Rachel Schmieg exchanging some hugs, and I'm sure some tears being shed on the Chaska side there. Some nice moments on both sides as some careers come to an end at the prep level. Well, I know Chaska doesn't want to go out with a loss. Some tears being shed there, probably more because it's the end of a lot of high school careers on the Hawks bench. Some touching moments over there as well as on the north side. Both coaches giving their players a moment to get some applause and kind of appreciate the moment. Now the reserves are in to finish up the final minute of the 3A title game.
Just received a informational sheet from Phil Johnson, the president of the Minnesota Girls Basketball Coaches Association. Class 3A, all-state players. There are 10 of them. Beth Bew from Austin, Chris Woolley, Mankato East, Jennifer Mitchell, Mankato East. From Minneapolis North, Mauri Horton and Tamara Moore. St. Francis, Cassie Vanderheit. Jennifer Brendan from Sauk Rapids, Shelley Schoeneck from Alexandria, and Susan King, Holy Angels, and Jamie Olson of Little Falls. Congratulations to all of those girls. And Coach of the Year, Class 3A, Amy Haynes from Mankato East. We'll give you more of those all-state selections later in our broadcast.
Some of the reserves trying to get in the scoring column. Chaska will go to the line. The foul was on Marquise Williams, and this will be Cassie Squires at the line. Courtney Johnson comes out, replaced by Abby Smith. So looks like everyone is going to get a chance for both teams to play in this championship game.
Cassie Squires involved with student council and choir. She says, I haven't gotten enough chance to play very much, but being a part of the team and just cheering has been great. She is getting a chance to play here in the state championship game, though.
1 out of 2. Squires swishes that one through.
And the players that may not get to see action on the floor are still there every day at practice, working hard. Pushing the players that do get to play all the time. They're equally as important.
Squires coming out with a loose ball. It's Natalie Chambers, number 30. She has the ball. The final 10 seconds of the 3A championship. Has made history. The Polars are the first Minneapolis school to win the girls' basketball title. It's an unbeaten season for Faith Johnson and the Polars, and a classy touch in the fourth quarter, too, as she kind of let up a little bit. I'm sure that all the players on the floor were trying 100%, but just 11 points in the fourth quarter for North, and she gave everybody a chance to play, too. What a moment for Faith Johnson and Tamara Moore, all the players, and the Minneapolis North community. The boys won it last year. The girls have won it in 1998.
It means so much to all of them. Give a lot of credit also to John Patterson, her assistant.
You don't see that happen very often, the girls and the boys teams, and this girls team will no longer be that other program. There's the boys team, and then, like Faith used to say, that some of the fans would just come to watch the end of the girls game so they could get a good seat to watch the boys play. Not anymore. The girls are a main attraction in their own right.
Well, in 3 years as head coach, she's just done an unbelievable job.
Congratulations to the Chaska Hawks for reaching this championship game. I like the performance of Rachel Schmieg, even though her team was down by about 36 points. She was right there fighting to the end. Time now for the award ceremony. Here's public address announcer Bob Reed.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the award ceremony will be conducted by several members of the board of directors of the Minnesota State High School League. They are David Hartman of Alexandria, Dwight Lundeen of Becker, Steve Wilkowski of Aitken, and the president of the board, Becky Montgomery of St. Paul. They'll be assisted by Dorothy McIntyre and Lisa Lissamore, associate directors of the Minnesota State High School League. At this time, we will present the 10-member U.S. Bank All-Tournament team, chosen by the sports writers and sportscaster covering the tournament. These students have distinguished themselves by their athletic excellence, leadership, team commitment, and exceptional sportsmanship. Presenting the trophies for U.S. Bank's All-Tournament team at center court is Terry Barrett, manager, U.S. Bank, Columbia Heights. And now the 1998 Class 3A Girls Basketball All-Tournament team. From New Prague, center Randy Wirt. From Mankato East, forward Chris Woolley. From Mankato East, guard Jen Mitchell. From Chaska, guard Lindsay Happ. From Chaska, guard Rachel Schmieg. From Chaska, forward Jill Gustafson. From Minneapolis North, guard Mauri Horton. From Minneapolis North, guard Felicia Bell. And from Minneapolis North, forward Tamara Moore. Also on the team, but not able to be here right now, from Sauk Rapids Rice, guard Jenny Brendan. U.S. Bank and the Minnesota State High School League congratulate all members of the Class 3A All-Tournament team for girls basketball. And now, ladies and gentlemen, At this time, we would like to announce the winners of the Sportsmanship Awards. The Minnesota State High School League, with the support of U.S. Bank, is pleased to sponsor a Sportsmanship Award for its member schools. The award recognizes and rewards school communities that display good sportsmanship while competing in a state championship tournament. Again, presenting the banners at center court is Mr. Terry Barrett, manager of U.S. Bank, Columbia Heights. And now with the cheerleaders from Chaska, please come forward to accept a sportsmanship banner on behalf of their school and community. And will the cheerleaders from Minneapolis North please come forward to receive their sportsmanship banner on behalf of their school and community. Congratulations to both schools for winning sportsmanship banners. And now silver medals will be awarded to the worthy runners-up from Chaska. Please step forward as your name is called. We'll go in the program numerically. Lindsay Happ. Rachel Schmieg. Natalie Chambers. Lynn Mundahl. Melissa Hargis. Misty Cluse. Allison Polster. Jill Gustafson. Kristen Daly. Jenny Studensky. Courtney Johnson. Abby Smith. Heidi McKeel. Cassie Squires. Beth Degler. Student manager Emily Steffel. And student manager Amanda Yokio. And now the captain or captains of Chaska, please come forward to receive your second place Class A trophy.
Congratulations, good job.
Congratulations to assistant coach Dan Snaza and the head Hawks coach Bob Downs. And now, ladies and gentlemen, gold medals will be presented to the championship team from Minneapolis North. Savannah Martins. Abby Reed. Mauri Horton. Tierra Medlock. Felicia Bell. Jill Kelvick. Tamara Moore. Demetrius Walker. Duffy. Marquise Williams. Edna Zachary. Tisa Thomas. Jenny Dozak. Student manager Tony Bird. And student manager Andy McConicle. And now will the captain or captains of Minneapolis North, the 1997-98 State Class 3A Championship teams, come forward and receive your championship trophy. Congratulations to the Polars assistant coach, John Patterson, and the head North coach, Faith Johnson.
Minneapolis North, the Class 3A champions, with an impressive 33-point win over Chaska. Back at Williams Arena, everybody, I'm Andy Skugman, along with Faith Johnson and Tamara Moore. Tamara, let me start with you. Last year, you finished runners-up. This year, you're the champions. It's got to feel excellent.
It does feel good. I'm just glad we did it this year while I'm a senior. Last year, we had 3 seniors on the team. I didn't get to go out with a championship, but I'm glad my team stepped up and helped me win.
Talk to me about your play tonight. Obviously, things felt good for you, didn't they?
Yeah, I just wanted to step up, make a good contribution from last year because I fouled out last year. I wanted to stay in, help my team out, and get this championship and take it back home to North.
I talked to you about 3 years ago when the boys were winning state titles and your team wasn't doing much, didn't have a lot of publicity. This has to feel great, though, for that, too, as well.
Yeah, I can say that it does. Three years ago, I was on the boys' bench when they won, and to see it from their point of view, I see that they played hard, and I think we came out and played hard, too, and I think we really wanted it. As you know, we got it. So that's just, I'm just happy, and I'm just ready to go home and celebrate.
I know your coach, you helped recruit Faith Johnson to Minneapolis North, or so I'm told. How much credit does your coach deserve?
She deserves a lot of credit. When she came over 3 years ago, I begged her to come over. She listened to me. She's just the greatest influence in my life, and without her, I don't think I would have had too many of my accomplishments. As you know, I'm going to the Nike All-American camp or a game. She's just been there for me, traveled with me a lot of places, and I'm just happy for her to be here.
Tamara, congratulations. Enjoy it. Good luck at Wisconsin.
Thank you.
All right, that's Tamara Moore. Talking about her head coach, Faith Johnson. She recruited Faith to Minneapolis North. Magic Johnson, we call her now. Faith, congratulations. It's got to feel good.
Oh, thank you very much. We're excited. For the North Side has never passed this way before. And this is something that's really, you know, an example and part of everybody, the whole community, and I'm excited.
Tell me about this game. You got out to an early lead, as you have all season long, never looked back.
Well, yeah, for us, you know, our press was working. We play better when we play hard, and we get a nice lead in the beginning of the game. I just wanted to keep up the intensity and the pressure. And I knew if we could keep it up for a few quarters that basically we could slow it down, and we'd have the momentum, and at that point they wouldn't have the chance to come back like Alexandria did last year. We did not want to have to experience that thing again.
How amazed are you that this team has won a title? When you got there 3 years ago, they called timeout, and Tamara Moore was in the stands talking to her friends. How amazed are you that you were able to bring this team a state championship?
I think I'm still in shock somewhat, but I'm extremely proud of the girls. It was a team effort. They all played really hard. And looking back 3 years ago, when I made that promise to her to come over, and she asked me, and I looked in her eyes, and I thought, oh, my God. But, you know, I can rest assured right now we did it. I fell through on I came through on my promise, and I'm glad it's over with. A lot of pressure.
Faith, congratulations. You deserve it.
Thank you very much.
All right, Faith Johnson, Tamara Moore, they are champions. Let's go back to the table.
Thanks, Andy. With Janet Carvinen, Jeff Grayson here. How can you not smile after this game? Faith Johnson, what a class coach, building this program, as Andy mentioned, coming over from Blake. And, you know, I have to say this, too. When Chaska got their trophies, there were smiles all the way around. They were so happy to win. They're smiling. The Polars are smiling. Everybody wins, even though, of course, one team really won the game. But that's what high school sports is all about.
They were both smiling, but at a point, both teams were crying.
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of emotion on both sides. And I think that's why you play the game. You leave it all on the court. You do the best that you can, but you got to live with the result and know that in the end that you did your very best. And I think Chaska can feel that they performed well. They had a great year to get to the state championship game and just happened to run up against one of the best teams in Minnesota history. And congratulations to Faith Johnson and Minneapolis North.
Definitely. Class showed by Faith and the Polars and also by the Hawks. Well, Faith talked about it being a team effort, and when we talk about your Chevy Dealers play of the game, it was a team effort. Great passing, never put the ball on the floor for our play of the game.
Well, nobody can keep up with the ball when it's being passed. Dribbling is a lot slower. Here you can see the quick ball movement. Give and go. Tamara Moore to Felicia Bell in the corner and back again for two.
I see plays like that, and I think of John Wooden, James Naismith, maybe Pat Summit. I mean, that's fundamental basketball, and the Polars executed it there. Well, now, really no surprise when we talk about the American Dairy Association's player of the game. The American Dairy Association's player of the game is Tamara Moore. She'll have a check sent on her behalf to Minneapolis North High School from your local dairy farmers who ask, got milk. Look at the numbers for Tamara Moore. Just another dominating performance by the player of the year.